First of all, I want to welcome all of you to the press conference this afternoon and let you know that this is a very important issue. So my name is Philip Jones. I am the president and CEO of Visit Dallas. And I want to thank you for being here to listen to our concerns about Senate Bill 6, which has recently been introduced in the Texas legislature that we believe will have a devastating consequence for the state of Texas economy. I would like to also introduce some of my colleagues who are joining us here today. First, we have Bob Jameson with the Fort Worth Convention and Visitors Bureau. We have Ron Price with the Arlington Convention and Visitors Bureau. We have Ashley Harris with Visit San Antonio. And we have Tom Noonan, who's the president and CEO of the Austin Convention and Visitors Bureau. Also, we're joined by representatives from the national meetings industry. We have representatives from the Professional Convention Management Association, which just wrapped up their 3-day conference here in Austin, bringing thousands of meeting planners and executives to this great city and our great state. We also have representatives from the American Society of Association Executives represented, and the representatives from the International Association of Exhibitions and Events. These are all experts in meeting planning, conventions, tourism, and what it takes to compete on both a national and global basis. We've all gathered here to send a message to Texas leaders and to the Texas legislature that any attempt to pass legislation that is designed to discriminate against our fellow citizens under the guise of privacy or anything else will result in a multi-billion-dollar disaster for the state of Texas, for our economy, for Texas tourism, and certainly for Texas Convention and Visitor Bureaus. This is not speculation. These are facts based on what we've seen firsthand happening in North Carolina, Indiana, and other states that have passed similar legislation. We also have some new facts based on a study by the Texas Association of Business that shows the passage of a bathroom bill could result in up to 185,000 jobs being lost and an annual GDP loss to the Texas economy of $8.5 billion. There are nearly 1,200 Texas employers, including 41 Fortune 500 companies, 21 Texas Chambers of Commerce, most of the major airlines and hotels, and many CVBs who are all united in saying there is a significant economic risk to Texas if we are hostile to the LGBT community. Today, we're launching an initiative called Texas Welcomes All. This is a collaborative effort with other Texas Convention and Visitors Bureaus to proactively promote Texas as a state that is welcoming and always open for business. Our Texas Welcome All initiative will have a collaborative theme that is intended to promote the inclusiveness of our great state. Texas Welcomes All will help us communicate Texas's welcoming business environment to our current and prospective clients, and will be a portal for uniting our communities and reinforcing the message that Texas is a place that welcomes, supports, and celebrates all who choose to visit, learn, work, and play in our great state. You can learn more by visiting www.texaswelcomesall.com, and more content and partners will be added in the coming days. Let us be very clear. Discrimination of any kind is wrong. If passed, this legislation will have a devastating consequence to our economy and would ensure that Texas is an unwelcoming state for business. Our message is very clear. Texas welcomes all, and we must keep Texas open for business. So now it is my pleasure to introduce Deborah Sexton, the President and CEO of the Professional Convention Management Association. Deborah?
Thank you, Philip. As Philip referenced, we just closed Convening Leaders, which is our annual meeting that travels all over North America in January. It was our single most successful in our history meeting. We had somewhere in the area of about 4,300 people. I have to check our final numbers. And it was a major success because of the hospitality and the facilities that are here in Austin. So we're very thrilled with that. The Professional Convention Management Association has just a little under 7,000 members, and they are individuals that are responsible for meetings and conventions globally, and the execution of successful meetings and conventions. The discriminatory bill in Texas is going to cause for our members and their organizations to cancel or not book meetings in Texas. This has been proven already in several states where this type of legislation has been voted on and approved, and it is out of the hands, actually, even of our members. The boards of directors of associations will make this decision regardless. So I did want to share that. And Meetings and Convention magazine says that 97% of meeting planners are aware of the anti-LGBT legislation in states like Mississippi and North Carolina, and 47% of the meeting planners will absolutely avoid either looking at and or booking conventions in states that embrace discrimination. Accordingly, 23% of a survey of respondents have already avoided those destinations. 53% have already avoided destinations with laws prohibiting universal restroom use, and only 2% surveyed prefer destinations with so-called bathroom laws. We have seen what happens across the United States, and I urge Texas to reconsider this so that the thriving meetings and convention business will continue in the great state of Texas. Thank you. And now I'd like to introduce Bill Reed, the chairman of PCMA, to join us at the podium.
Good afternoon. Hello, I'm Bill Reed, and I'm the chairman of the Professional Convention Management Association and the Senior Director of Meetings and Community Engagement for the American Society of Hematology. As chairman of the board of an organization that selects meeting locations on an ongoing basis, I am here today to say that if discriminatory legislation passes in Texas, we will not bring our meetings to Texas. My colleagues and I are strongly opposed to any sort of bathroom bill. We've seen the detrimental impact of these types of bills have had on other states throughout our country, and we expect the same effect in Texas should a bathroom bill pass. Now, to give us more information on the type of impact this sort of bill will bring to Texas, I'd like to invite Caroline Joyner, Managing Director of TechNet and representing major technology employers.
Good afternoon. My name is Caroline Joyner. I'm the Executive Director of TechNet. TechNet is a national bipartisan network of innovation economy CEOs and senior execs. Our diverse membership includes dynamic startups and the most iconic companies on the planet and represents more than 2 million employees. The technology industry has long led the way in making workplaces respectful and inclusive of all people. That inclusion is a big part of the recipe for our success that has made Texas such a leader in technology and innovation. And that openness, inclusiveness, and drive to innovate is a big reason why Texas is such a sought-after destination, not only for tourism, but also high-profile, large-scale technology and industry conferences like South by Southwest, and a destination and a place where talented workers in the innovation economy want to live, work, and build their businesses. And we face a shortage of science and technology talent in this country, so Texas must compete globally to attract and retain the best and brightest. We already invest heavily in culture, training, and in top-notch facilities to ensure we remain competitive. And it's clear that talented workers of all ages value inclusion and diversity in their workplace. But the workplace is no longer the only thing they consider when it comes to job selection. Tech employees don't live in the office. They shop in local stores and send their kids to local schools. They travel and invest in our state personally and professionally. And these talented, in-demand workers are looking for not just a workplace, but also a city and a state that are free from discriminatory practices and rhetoric. In such a competitive environment, we cannot give them an excuse to look elsewhere. So whether it's welcoming the next great tech startup or ensuring our tourism and convention industry is thriving, we cannot afford to let SB 6 become law. We oppose any legislation, including SB 6, that would legalize discrimination against the LGBT community, that would impact our workforce recruitment efforts, or undermine the technology community's commitment to diversity and inclusion. It's a privilege to stand here today with so many leaders in tourism and event planning who do a tremendous job representing our state, courting new business and attracting visitors to the state, and generating significant revenue for local communities. We stand with them in opposition to SB 6, and we hope that we can work with legislators to focus on good public policy that strengthens our economy, improves our public school system, and unites our state. I'm pleased to introduce another leader in the meeting industry to join us at the podium, Susan Robertson.
My name is Susan Robertson. I'm the Executive Vice President of the American Society of Association Executives and President of the Foundation. I'm also the Chair of the Convention Industry Council. ASAE represents and is the leading and largest organization representing the interests of trade and professional associations. We have over 45,000 members, and those members are CEOs, association staff, professionals of the associations that hold meetings and conventions throughout the country and the world. We also have as members industry partners who support the convention and industry meetings that our associations hold. ASAE and its board of directors are deeply committed to diversity and inclusion. We support those practices, not so much for associations, although we support it vehemently for associations, but also for the municipalities and states where associations do business and operate. We truly oppose and are vehemently against any kind of law that tolerates or even smacks of tolerating discrimination. It isn't our intent at all to tell associations where to have their meetings, but laws such as State Bill 6 do serious harm. They can have enormous economic consequences. As my colleagues have said, associations make decisions on where to hold their major conventions and meetings every day, and such laws would prohibit them from having them in Texas. An unwelcoming environment created by a state makes meeting planners and their attendees also unwelcome. We need open doors and access for all, and that any other practice is discriminatory. There's a strong incentive when such laws are created and adopted for meeting planners to take their meetings elsewhere. Please don't let that happen to Texas. ASAE is here to support the members that we have in Texas. And as you know, there are a number of associations here, but also throughout the country. We've had wonderful meetings in Texas and major conventions. Please, as we are begging the legislature to reconsider this unnecessary and really irrelevant law right now. SB 6 is a bad bill. It's also on the wrong side of history. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Tom Noonan, who is the President and CEO of the Austin Convention and Visitors Bureau. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Quickly again, Deb and Bill, thanks for having PCMA here. It was nice to have 4,200 of our colleagues from the meetings industry here in Austin, 3,000 meeting planners that I hope will be continuing to be able to look at all the fine destinations we have with us today and those that couldn't be with us. So it was important to host it, and we're glad it was so successful. You know, Austin is not only just a great city to live in, it's a great place to visit. It's a great place to hold your meetings. It's a great place to eat fine meals and walk along our trails and visit our popular venues. Just as many have shared with us today, this bathroom bill is a piece of legislation that is discriminatory and sends a message that Texas is unwelcoming. Moreover, the passing of this bill or any other bathroom bill will have a huge financial impact on our state that Philip talked about. I don't want to see 185,000 of my fellow Texans out of work. I don't want to see our state lose $8.5 billion. In closing, I ask you to support our opposition to the bathroom bill and to join our coalition of convention and visitors bureaus and professionals from around the state to keep Texas open for business and spread the word that Texas welcomes all.